Okay, the Amber Rose Show, episode 3. So let's talk about this thing. And I have a question for you people right now. What is the Mount Rushmore of asses? Just kind of like really watching this episode, I was just like, Amber Rose really does have a big ass. But what would be the Mount Rushmore of asses? That's just like a question I was like thinking about. So put your 5 or whatever it may be on the top of the Mount Rushmore thing. I'd like to actually know. Answer the fucking question, people. Just do it. Man, woman, hermaphrodite, animal, whatever. I don't care. Just put the damn list. Let me know what your thoughts are. Now let's get to that Amber Rose Show. So she kind of comes out with this weird Marilyn Monroe thing, kind of looking like a slutty Marilyn Monroe, which is a little bit ironic because Marilyn Monroe did kind of get around for the most part. But I actually thought she looked pretty good with the wig, but she definitely has more of an attractive appeal with the baldness. Her first topic of the day was kind of like talking about the the Kanye West and the Taylor Swift thing. She talked about how Kanye pretty much would actually have went and got Taylor Swift's permission because she was with him when the VMA thing kind of happened. She realized that was kind of a down and out time for Kanye, and she realized that Kanye would never want to like go back to that dire time because that was a very bad time. She was there in the forefront. It did kind of seem like she was kind of just like making herself get over a little bit. She's like, I was there, remember? I was with Kanye. Which is a little bit ironic because the next thing she kind of said was just that Kanye, stay out of the damn fucking news so she doesn't have to talk about you. One, nobody's forcing you to talk about Kanye. Two, for the most part, everybody kind of knows you and Kanye were together. You guys go hand in hand, like, you guys go together like a finger in a butthole. For the most part. So it doesn't really matter, for her saying, hey, stay out of the news. You're going to talk about it because, let's be real here, that's your golden ticket, just in general. Anything Kanye related, Amber Rose soars to the rocket. The next thing she kind of talks about is kind of like the Snapchat thing, Snapchat shaming, with like that Playboy model talking about the woman, if I can't see it, you can't unsee it, whatever it may be. The thing about it was, I agree completely with Amber Rose. She kind of said if somebody did that to like my mother or grandmother, she'd be willing to come after them. So that was like a very smart thing she said. I give her props on there. But also, it was just like out of hand. What the fuck was the point of that for this bitch that kind of like took the Snapchat thing or whatever? It's like, come on, you're going to be old soon too. People are going to be shaming you one day. There's nothing worse than a wrinkled old Playboy model. Just simply put saying. The next thing was Amber Rose talks about being a gold digger. This guy called like Drummond or whatever it may be is an NBA player, has a big fucking salary. She's like, hey, I got 130 million. Her 130 million reasons to fucking be a fan of this guy. So she's putting it out there in the world. She's a gold digger. She's not only a hoe, she's a gold digger. She's a mother. She's an entrepreneur. She's got all these things going on. Then we go to the Leslie Jones thing. Pretty much Leslie Jones trolling. She talked about Ghostbusters. One, nobody was like saying anything bad about Leslie Jones because of the ghost. Nobody's hating Ghostbusters because of the women. Let's be real here. It's only because if they hate it or they really love the original. It's not because of women. That's just a simple fact. Now let's get to the next thing. The trolling thing was a little bit out of hand. I heard some of the stuff. I think that was a little bit harsh for the most part. But Amber Rose called these people like nerds or whatever it may be. That might spark the fire, but who cares, really? They'll probably jack up to her pictures anyway. So the thing is, it's just like, all right, I think she kind of handled that situation good. Then the next thing we kind of get to Axe Mother, which is the biggest thing of the day. So let's talk about some of these things. There was this one guy that talked about asking this bank girl out, right? She kind of shut him down. He said, don't shit where you bank, which was kind of like, what? But she sent, Amber Rose said, hey, send her this picture of you kind of with me and then say, hey, we're having sex tonight. So I guess Amber Rose is happy being kind of like the sexy, slutty side piece, even though it's fake. But, I guess that turns her on. Then there was this other chick that said, she doesn't know how to talk to guys. Then she sends it her bodyguard, Amber Rose's bodyguard, to like talk to her. I thought the chick was actually pretty hot. Then she brings it this black dude that tries to he doesn't even know what the hell's going on. He's just like, oh, okay. The girl's like rubbing his arm like she's some fucking psychopath. And then Amber Rose kind of sets them up. One, I'm pretty sure that guy came over and he was just like, oh, I'm going to talk to Amber Rose. Oh, I'm talking to you? Oh, fuck. But he was just like, hey, I get asked tonight, so why not? Then we kind of get to some questions. There was some dude that was like, hey, when I'm beaming it from the back, I don't know who uses the word beaming, but when I'm beaming it from the back, what do I do? Do I fucking, what do I do? Ass cheeks, how would I get turned on? And for me, personally, I was just like, just grab one tit like this, grab an ass cheek like that, and just, hit it from the back. You just keep on rolling. That I feel like that would be the best way, just in general. So another question was just like, should I be offended when girl or when my boyfriend watches porn or whatever? I don't think you should. Everybody watches porn. Everybody has to, get stressed out for the most part. So it's not really bad. It's a fantasy. As long as the fantasy doesn't go past that, then I'm sure it's fine. Another question was like, if a guy says, another girl's name, I don't think another girl's name is bad. Like I said, it's back to like the stress thing. People get stressed out. Maybe it's a bully. Maybe it's, something that's, tormenting them. Maybe they just had a common name. She said it was cheating, stupid. Not all the time it's cheating. Could be, but I don't think in that certain situation really. But overall, that's just my thought. Then the big interview was kind of like the game's interview, which I thought was the best interview she's had so far in her 3 episodes, because that guy was actually giving stuff to her. They were flirting. It's very obvious from the start that dude was looking at her cleavage. I don't blame him, and he wanted to probably fuck her on the Amber Rose show, extended edition. So then she talks about his like dick pics. Is it real? Is it not real? Well, it turns out it was real, and that kind of made everybody kind of feel like shit, especially the dudes in the room. And then all the girls in the fucking place is just like, wow, I want to, pull it down, and just, everybody just went all the way to the stage. But every girl was pretty much getting, dripping wet pretty much to the point where you needed an umbrella. But yeah, the dick pics were real. He talked about like a cop fundraising thing or whatever it may be, so that was cool. His march with Snoop Dogg. But yeah, it seemed like it was a nice back and forth with it, and I actually enjoyed the interview, and I feel like we actually did get something. He's got an album coming out, so for people that are excited about it. But, he also talked about how, like, girls get very excited. We'd be like, hey, I'm with the game, when she's, like, sleeping with them or whatever it may be. And he kind of was just like, yeah, that kind of boosts my ego a bit. But overall, I thought it was a very fun interview for the most part. You can see, you cannot see it. Like I said, I thought it was a very entertaining show. Tits, ass, the game, everything involved. But it was actually a pretty interesting interview compared to Montana and T.I., which did nothing. But overall, you can see it. Like I said, comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith. Subscribe. That was a fuck up, but here it is. Signing out.